Dang it. So the situation I am faced with today is something called changing conditions. Last night we had a huge rainstorm come in and push all this dirty water into this pond. Now this situation is a very common one for bank fishermen, especially you guys that are watching my videos. So let's say you want to go to your grandma's, your favorite pond at your grandma's house, and it's deep water, it's got that grass, and it's very clear. And then you get there and everything changed. The grass died because of grass carp. The water is like down 10 feet and the water clarity is just trash. So my goal for today is to teach you guys at home how to fish your local lakes and ponds with changing water conditions. Let's go. So the pond here at Pine Cove is actually pretty big. And for big ponds, especially in the summertime, you have to, number one, cover a lot of water, especially if you want to find these fish in changing conditions. So the two baits that I use most to cover a lot of water are the Zara Spook and a small square bill, probably in chartreuse color because its water clarity is pretty bad. And so what you guys want to do is just basically cover the whole pond, if you possibly can, with both of these baits before you go back through with, a soft plastic or a jig to get those fish that are below the water. Oh my! Oh, that's a nice one. Get down, get down, get down. Woohoo! Oh man. Oh man. He's running at me. Where you going, buddy? Oh, no, 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 no. Get up here, get up here. Oh yeah. There we go. Good first fish of the day on the Spook. Another important thing is to make long casts because you never know how far out these guys are going to be. Good first fish on the Spook. Kind of skinny fish, but this fish fought hard. Man, I was not expecting a fish of this size to fight that hard. Wow, that is a very good sign for this fishery, is that they are competitive, which means there's a lot of fish in here. Here we go. First fish on the Spook. Long casts are very important, and I got this guy right on the end of the cast. Or beginning of the cast, I should say. Sometimes you may have no clue how deep it is out in the middle, and so usually a better bait than a Spook could be utilized, but I'm just throwing a Spook out there in the middle to see if maybe it's shallow enough for those fish to be, schooled up on a flat out there, but I doubt anything will bite way out there. I'm guessing with this wind we have coming in now and these overcast skies, these fish are up shallow. So especially on, relatively flat, featureless banks like these banks here, with the Spook, I usually just take one pass through them. With other baits, I might make multiple casts towards an area, but with a bank like this, if the fish didn't bite the first time, it's probably not going to bite, the time after that. Make sure you guys are fishing any kind of structure these ponds have. As you can tell here, we have a big slide of some kind the kids can ride down, and there's a metal base at the bottom. If you look around the entire pond, there's not a single piece of metal, and so maybe a fish will relate to that. Oh, God. Holy moly. Oh, I got him sideways. That's why. He was running in all sorts of crazy directions. As you can tell, I tip again for the grabbing him. Oh, that didn't quite paralyze him, but there you go. Wow, this fish is energetic. Oh, no, no. Do not get a treble hook in my hand. I just started camp. I don't want to go to the hospital. Wow, these fish fight hard, y'all. Holy bejeebers. Whew. I kind of want to make my ringtone just a boosh, 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 or Spook explosions. Wow. Now that fish there actually comes with a good talking point. So as you guys can see, I'm holding the tripod right now, it's kind of shaky. This here is a small point. The rest of the pond here, we just got flat shoreline, and that other fish way down there, was on a small point. So make sure you guys are fishing the small points. When I make a lake video, I tell you guys, here, fish all these points, fish all these creek channels, creek swings. Everything can be scaled down for a pond. So technically, this little part here is a channel swing, and that's a main lake point right there. So you guys can take all the tips that me and the other YouTube guys show you for lakes and scale those down to your ponds. Oh my goodness gracious. That was a big one. He's still there. Once again, it is the closest you can get to that cover. Now, if you have a pond that has some water flowing like this, you are money. There's probably a fish here. There's a lot of current coming out of here. Fish like current a lot. Especially with places like that have current like this, you gotta switch up your baits, because sometimes those fish only want something certain that'll be swimming by that current, and a square bill is a great opportunity for that. Oh my. Came off. Oh, that was at least a 5-pounder. Oh, it was giant. Ah, dang it. Oh. It happens. Now, even though I didn't catch that fish, that still serves as a good teaching point in that fish love current. I get one? I got one. I got a fish. Oh my. Well, this fish can serve my purpose then. There are bass around current, especially in ponds with a very big lack of current. It's just a small guy, but it's a good representation of what's in this pond. Oh, got another one. I'm gonna keep talking while I'm unhooking this fish. It'll bring in new bugs, it'll bring in new minnows. Those minnows will bring in new sunfish and new bass. And so the whole ecosystem kind of moves toward this whole current area here, and fish stack up. Now, in general, when you run into a pond with dirty water, you have to make a lot of noise to get these fish's attention, to get the reaction bite. So that's why I'm throwing the spook and the square bill, because they are both pretty loud baits, and that square bill has some nice rattles in it. So when you have dirty water, most of the time, you're gonna have to throw, whoa, what's it called? I just lost my words. So most of the time when you have dirty water, you're gonna have to throw loud baits. Got him. Oh my. Oh, this is a nice one, I think. I mean, they all fight hard, but yeah, it's a little nicer fish. A little bit nicer of a fish right here. Oh, he's only got one hook in him. Okay, chill out, buddy. Just play it chill. Let's get you up here. Yeah! Woohoo! Nice 2.5 pounder on the spook. He's got, got a big treble hook in him, so I don't want to hook myself. Man, these fish fight so hard. I don't know what's in these things. They're eating steroids, man. Wow. Once again, a nice fish on this pattern here. You gotta make a lot of noise to catch these fish in changing conditions, and that just shows. Wow. There he goes. So now that I've worked one way around the pond with the spook, it's time to work the other way around the pond with the square bill. Catch those fish that I missed with the spook. So now we're back to this current here. Maybe the fish want to see the square bill from a different direction. I called my shots. All right. Those fish just wanted to see the square bill from a different direction, and I gave it to him. Oh my. I'm gonna get a square bill. I'm gonna get treble hooks in my fingers. Do not shake, you sneaky fish. Do not shake. There we go. Another solid fish on the square bill. Right on the edge of that current there that's coming in. I cannot stress how important current is in a pond that only has, you know, one side of current flowing through. Fish love that kind of stuff. Dang it. Same fish as earlier in this exact little pocket. He got off. I couldn't get a hook into him. I tried, as you guys saw, to go like around the other side of the bushes and yes! Got him! Only took a few extra casts, but he's still there. Wasn't as big as I thought he'd be, but still a nice 2-pounder. Okay, hook came right out. There we go. Sick. Oh my. It's just a small one. So what I was doing here is I saw the point that I caught the fish on earlier. And so I decided, you know what, I'm gonna throw deeper out, because usually points kind of slope out farther than you can see on the shore. They go, you know, underwater points. And so I cast a lot farther out than you would originally think you should with the square bill, but it was still relatively shallow out there, and got another fish. So up to this point, you're probably asking yourself, well, Tyler, what's different about these tips than any other pond fishing tips? And you're true in that aspect. A lot of these tips will work for regular ponds if the conditions aren't changing. But the key is, I would not have started throwing a square bill if this water clarity wasn't so bad, especially a square bill of the chartreuse color. I'm a big fan of Sinkos and flukes, and so I would have immediately brought down a spook or a buzzbait and a Sinko or a fluke on these two rods. But instead today I saw the water clarity was bad, and I knew that, you know what, I need to speed up and cover a lot of water. That's why I'm gonna go with the square bill. So sometimes you're gonna have to throw baits that you don't always throw. Now, granted, I do throw square bills quite a lot, but you might have to throw baits that you don't normally throw just to get those fish that are cruising around. Oh baby, this fish is a little bit nicer. Just as I was saying, square bill was a little, whoa! Square bill was a little bit too deep diving for this area. So I cast a little farther out, and that's where this guy hit it. Yeah! One of my nicer fish so far. Got a little clay on him. Sorry about that, bud. But he just kind of slapped at it, so I'm lucky I got him. Good fish. Sweet. Dang it! That guy thumped it. I'm talking, that was an aggressive square bill bite right there. As of right now, I've officially worked one half of this pond, or about a quarter of the pond. There's some stuff over here that I'm about to fish. But I just wanted to kind of give you guys a quick recap. Kind of to end the video, I'll show you guys what I did to combat these changing conditions. So the two baits I used, if I can untangle my line, were the Zara Spook, and this color is Foxy Shad or Foxy Mama. This is my favorite spook color. I love it, it's just classic. And I upgraded the trebles to, I think size 1 Gamakatsu EWG short shank trebles. Great trebles for combating these aggressive fish. And the other bait was a Strike King 1.5 crankbait. Might have been the 1.0 actually, it's pretty small. And these fish, you know, are used to seeing small bait fish like that. And this chartreuse color was able to nab those fish out of shallow water out here. So let's do a quick recap of the points that I made today. So the first point was that you're gonna have to change baits a lot. These fish are in a changing mood. The water might be changing, your grass might be gone. Who knows, someone might drop a whole bunch of rocks in the lake. I don't know what your pond is changing, but I know that my pond had dirtier water this time. So I had to throw baits that were louder and that were more brightly colored. So your pond, maybe it was clearer this time. So maybe you're gonna have to throw more natural colors. Your baits are always gonna have to change. Next point is that you have to look at contours of the pond just like you would on a lake. So on a lake, you'd see a point or a channel swing, and in the pond, you'll see the same thing, a point, a channel swing, a little tiny, what we call creek pockets, or a depression in the shoreline, and there's plenty of those in this grass and in the sand. And so those fish relate to those shoreline depressions and points, and you have to target those to catch your fish. So the last tip I can give you guys is to cover a lot of water. These baits here, the square bill and the spook, are great for covering a lot of water because you reel them really fast and they can get by the shoreline cover pretty quickly. Now I know that there are fish out there in the middle that I could throw a Texas rig or a jig or a chatterbait at, but I can tell you it's gonna take a lot longer to discover those fish and catch them than it would to beat the bank like I can in the summertime. So covering a lot of water, especially in a new pond or a changing pond, is very crucial because these fish are in a changing mood. Holy Moses.